Hey everyone, this is Joey up here. Just a quick impromptu live telecast here on both Facebook and YouTube. Due to the large emails that I've been receiving regarding the eclipse that is happening today, December 14. So I thought, I might as well come live right now and speak to you guys and answer some questions directly. Okay, so for those of you who have not heard the message that I sent out on my Telegram channel, there's a link right here on the comment section. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, or if you're watching this on my YouTube, you will be able to see on the comment section, there's a link to my Telegram and the whole debrief about the eclipse that is happening today. It can be found there, and you can listen to it, and I will do my best to explain, to give you all the details that you need. Okay, so oh, it's great. Wow, we have in total about almost 500 people now from both Facebook and on YouTube. Good to see you guys here. All right, Cass, Cecilia, Lily, Josh, Priya, Jenny Ho, Alice, Lai Ping. Thank you so much for logging in for this impromptu live telecast here. So I want to be talking about the eclipse a little bit more to answer some of these questions that you guys have. Are they bad? Why are they bad? And how do you perceive them? What should you be doing? So I think one of the first questions that many people are asking is that what is the difference between solar and lunar eclipse? Well, the solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the earth and the sun. Okay, that's what we're having today on December 14. When I say UTC time, that is the universal time, which is representing the time that is happening. Okay, and the when the moon passes between the earth and the sun, it will leave a moving region of shadow on Earth's surface. Okay, lunar eclipse occurs when the earth passes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the moon. So these are two different scenarios. Okay, so here's a question from Diane. Now, I'm going to answer more questions. If you just post the questions here, I will do my best to answer them here. Okay, so this is Diane. Do we have to worry about eclipse if we can't see in my city? Yes, you do. Okay, no, you don't have to be worried about it. I'm just suggesting that it would be great if you would stay indoors and not expose yourself to the energies. I'm going to explain it right here. Okay, so now if you've been to my Thrive program, I've explained the importance of the sun and moon when it comes to metaphysics. These are both the yin and yang energies that influences the life on Earth. Okay, so this is very important. I think it goes without saying. You guys know that even from the scientific point of view. So the sun, although we sometimes don't notice it, but all living beings, creatures on Earth, all life forms requires the sun. So and when something happens that diminishes the energies from the sun, it is seen as a disturbance or disruption in the flow of energy. Okay. Now, the moon, on the other hand, also causes, as you know, raises the tides are influenced by the moon. Water, 75% of the earth, I think 75% of the earth is water. And our bodies are primarily water as well. And so when there is on a full moon day, right, things are heightened up a little bit. If you're emotional, you become more emotional. If you are sentimental, you become more sentimental. If you are basically an angry person, you can get more angry. Okay, so some people are crazy, become more crazy. That's why they call it lunatics, right? So it disturbs the energy flow when there is an eclipse. So now culturally, ancient cultures tried to understand, because they didn't know that it's because of the positioning of the planets. So solar eclipses, especially solar eclipses, have caused fear. Of course, fear and curiosity, and more usually is associated with a lot of myths and legends and even superstitions throughout history. Okay, So right now, I'm not talking about the superstitious aspect, but a lot of people have asked me, what are the cultures that talk about it? Are they all just bad omens? Generally, it's bad omen because of the disappearance of the sun. Okay, so in ancient cultures, they tried to understand why the sun disappeared temporarily from the sky. It suddenly just vanished, right? So they came up with a lot of reasons that might have caused the eclipse. Okay, but today we know it's a celestial phenomenon, right? But in ancient cultures, it's a little bit different because they don't understand that, right? So legends surrounding eclipses sometimes can involve mythical beings or some sort of creatures eating the sun. That's why they call it the sky dog eating the sun. Okay, that's what the Chinese term for it, and or maybe there is a sign from angry gods, right? So different culture, different things. Okay, so maybe today I'm gonna take some time to explain it. If you guys would like to hear about the cultural aspects of this, go ahead and type a me here on the comment section, and I'll try to explain this right now. Okay, so December 20th, it's basically a South American region, total solar eclipse. In astrological terms, it is an eclipse between the tiger and monkey axis in the skies. In Western terms, it's somewhere around Sagittarius. Okay, the position of the eclipse. Okay, so it will cross the Patagonian region of Chile and Argentina in South America. The exact total eclipse is about 2 minutes and 10 seconds, plus minus maximum point, right? But this doesn't happen just like in one second. So it takes some transition and the whole period of time, probably a couple of hours. So generally back in those days when we were kids, when we didn't know about this, of course, in the science class, an eclipse is like an excuse to go outside and quickly look at the sun, right? And we can wear our glasses and put on some fancy mirrors to look at the what's happening, right? Not recommended, of course. In astrology, however, metaphysics, however, is different. Eclipses are known for causing dramatic effects to our destiny. Okay, so of course, if you have a lot of high energy, you have generally a lot of positive good luck, then don't worry, right? Go ahead and enjoy yourself and watch the eclipse if you want, or go out in the opens. But let's say if your energy is generally not really high, you have lower energy, and maybe you don't feel so good, then you might want to give this a pass. Okay, you can watch it on TV, you can see it on YouTube, just don't see it in person, or don't go outdoors. Now, of course, for the actual region, which is the in Chile and Argentina, that is happening, direct exposure would of course be a more dramatic. An indirect exposure is when you are like here from Malaysia and Singapore, is an indirect exposure. Because it's still affecting the overall, it's like affects the whole planet, right? Overall effects. So the yin energy increases. So that's why it's recommended that you stay indoors. Okay. So now, even today, eclipse is considered bad omen in many cultures. Cultures try to, for example, I can explain some of this. For example, in Vietnam, people believe that a giant frog devoured the sun, while the Norse culture, like the Viking culture, blame it on wolves for eating the sun back in old days. Ancient China is different. They believe that a dog or a celestial monster basically lunched on the sun and caused the eclipse. So different culture, a different thing. Okay, that's why it's called Sikyat. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, even the Hindu mythology, there's a deity called Rahu, which is beheaded by the gods for capturing and drinking the nectar, a very special nectar, and then Rahu's head flies off into the sun and swallows the sun, causing an eclipse. In Korean folklore is pretty much similar to the Chinese culture. So it also talk about mythical dogs trying to steal the sun. So traditionally, people in all sorts of culture, have their own interpretation of it, and those days they even have some form of a ritual to create a lot of noise to chase the evil away. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, in the Native American culture, I think the indigenous people live in the United States, tells the story of a bear who started a fight with the sun and took a bite out of it. Okay, so this is so basically the sun got bitten by a bear. And an ancient Greek talk about the angry sun, believing that the solar eclipse is a sign of the gods being really angry, and is a sign of where disasters and destruction happen. Okay, so even in the Tewa tribe of New Mexico believe that solar eclipse is a signal of the sun, which got very fiery and feisty, and there's a disturbance in the underworld. Okay, so different culture, right? Different cultures across, they have different associations with the nature of the eclipse. Okay, but we know that eclipse is basically a transition or abrupt change in terms of energy. Okay, it's an abrupt change in terms of energy. So solar eclipse is more of a thing, right? We have to be concerned. Lunar eclipse, not so much. The change is probably subtle, and you probably don't feel it so much. Sometimes even after eclipse of the sun, a big one usually might have a massive shake up in terms of energy. So there could be maybe some major events happening around the world, plus minus within that 3-month time frame. Okay, so this is 2 minutes and 9 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So it's plus minus, but within that the next 2 months or so. Okay, so it affects the signs that are most affected is tiger, horse, dog, and pig, because you are going through the tiger section in the skies. So it affects tiger, horse, dog, and pig more. So if you are seeing this in your party chart, so guys, if you don't know how to plot your party chart, you can go to my website joeyup.com, and you can download your party chart, and you check your year, month, day, and hour of birth. If you have tiger, horse, dog, or pig, that means you're more susceptible to the abrupt changes in energy that is caused by this current eclipse. And again, don't fear this. It's nothing to be feared. This, everyone has to go through this. It's a question of what are the effects, and some of the effects might actually be good. Okay, I'm going to explain it later on. Yeah, so so all living things, as you know, are dependent on the sun. So sometimes when it's extreme yin, it causes, in general, maybe lack of courage. It causes a bit of fatigue and disturbance. Maybe it causes low self-esteem. So basically, we try to stay indoors and not get affected by this phenomenon. Okay, so now if your destiny charts are generally, if you have very positive energy, you don't have the 4 animal signs, that you shouldn't be afraid at all. There should be nominal effects on you, even if you're exposed. It's just that if you have this 4 animal sign, any one of these 4s, then it is more susceptible to you. Now, please, yeah, eclipses is nothing new. Every year there's eclipse. Okay, every year there's eclipse. Our yin and yang energy changes, and it refers now our internal and external energy will change because of yin and yang difference. Okay, yin and yang abrupt changes. Okay, so you can call this the internal and external world, right? The yin part represents our past, our memories, and the future is the yang part represents our imagination. Some people call this our karmic influence or karmic path. So it's sort of hasten whatever is in along the way, and or have an abrupt change in terms of our destiny cycle. Okay, so it depends on which aspects it activates in our chart. Sometimes it is actually useful to have an eclipse if we are going through a downward spiral, and it sort of abruptly changes that and actually reverses an ill fortune back to positive. Whereas those who are actually flying high and having great luck right now, that abrupt change can be 180s, and it might sort of shadow your destiny a little bit, okay, and cause you to have negative energy for a short period of time. Okay, so that's why you have to be a bit more educated about the eclipse. Okay, of course, well, a lot of people say, hey, I don't really know whether this affects me or not. Then why don't you give it a shot, right? Try it out. And anyway, the effects around this part when you don't actually see it is not so great. If you are in the America or South America region where you can actually see the sun, and you can see parts of daylight, then the effects are stronger. You can give it a try. Okay, so there are eclipses are not are big deal in astrology, okay, because they're not that rare. In fact, each year there are maybe 3 or 4 different types of eclipses that are happening, and sometimes they occur within the same region or the same axis line for some time, right? Like, for example, there is a long-term series of eclipse happening since July 2018, and it's between the goat and the ox eclipse. Okay, that is the goat and the ox axis for some time. It's only very recently that, and if you know about this, right, the goat can represent the view of security, for example, people's sense of safety, and then the ox can represent power and obsession, and that sort of affects the last 2 years, which probably sounds right of what's happening around the world. 2020 series begins between the monkey and tiger axis. Okay, so in Western terminology, it's somewhere between Gemini and Sagittarius axis. And actually started around June 2020, and it will remain here for a couple of time. Okay, so now, of course, a lot of people think that it's just harbinger of a danger, and some even say it's apocalypse. Of course, it's not, because it happens all the time. So you don't have to be too worried. Okay, so you just have to watch out for what it affects you. So it happens that December 14 is not a good day. Okay, so it doesn't have that many great stars on that day itself, and in fact, it has a couple of negative stars called Duke Punishment, Earth Thief. They also have the Punishment Star, Yud Yang, and then they also have this star that we don't really like called Receive Death, and then there's another star called Pat Sing. It's called Unsuccessful Day. It has the Fire Star. So and also another star called the Knife Cut Star. It's all these Chinese names, a bit weird, I know. So whenever an eclipse happens, when there is a combination of negative elements, then those with the weaker animal signs obviously might get these elements amplified. Okay, so perhaps Duke Punishment means a lot of self-sabotaging. Okay, so which means if you generally are a person who self-sabotage. Now, what's a self-sabotaging person? Those with a lot of negative comments internally. It means you hear a negative voice internally, you are susceptible to being pessimistic all the time, and being negative talks internally most of the time. Then your self-sabotage becomes stronger as a result of that. And so by right, you should be able to harness a lot of opportunities, but because of the negative self-talk that's happening internally got amplified, therefore it became self-punishment. Okay, and that could happen when there's this star called monthly punishment, that's amplification of that aspect, so the negativity becomes stronger. Now, some people don't notice that they are negative. Okay, they don't notice that they have a negative self-talk. Okay, but if you look at, you wanted to start your business and you couldn't because you're blaming possibly, maybe even for real, that this lockdown is not beneficial. The world has all this COVID problem, and then you have the government's not helping, blah 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 blah. Whereas you both with a more positive self-talk would have said, you know what, I've got more time this year. I'm going to study a new skill. I'm going to learn a skill that pays me more. I want to become more effective in my time management. I want to be able to pick up a new skill set or new mindset. Whereas some people will, just keep on having that negative thing and since March till now, there's already December, they didn't do anything extra. Okay, it could be like that, and that this got amplified even further. Just look at how they ask questions, right? I've noticed that people keep asking, when will all this be over? When will all these problems be over? Listen, the problems will continue, and there's just different form of problems coming. So the question is, what do you do with the time that you have, right? So lack of courage maybe stop you from thriving. Maybe lack of courage stop you from taking on a new skill set or changing to a job that is more aligned with your personal values, stuff like that. Okay, so that's the amplification that could happen as a result of this negative element. So if you have that in your chart already, if you already have that in your life, that's when the eclipse can enhance that more, and that's when a person feels that they are not going through good fortune. Okay. So a person who is going through good fortune obviously will behave in a more optimistic way, will be able to see more opportunities, will be able to offer help instead of keep asking for help all the time, who constantly, some people always just needs helpful people, like, oh, come help me all the time. So that's the problem when people who are unlucky, people who are luckier generally would be those who say, hey, or who needs help, I'm there to help them. I'm able to offer more value. I'm able to increase my skill set. I'm able to recognize opportunities when the economy has changed, the direction of the business has changed. I want to learn something new. I want to do something different. Okay, So that's the thing. All right. So that's how it can affect you. Okay. So now I already said the 4 animal signs. What I would suggest is you can use the eclipse timing. If the details are on my Telegram. I need you to, if you want that, you got to go to my Telegram page. The link, it's on my comment section, and you could listen to the message, and you can also look at the table where I tell you the timing for the local places wherever you are. And if your country is not listed, oh my God, please be a bit more creative. Log on into the online internet and find out the local time equivalent of the UTC timing. Okay, it's really easy. You can do that on your own. Okay, so now during the time of the eclipse, because it is a darkness, is a void created at that period of time, you could use the timing that of the eclipse, instead of it sucking away your positive energy. And if you have a lot of negative energy, go ahead and send it to the eclipse. Give it to the eclipse. Give it away. Give the negative energy away. Give all your worries away. Give all your pain away. Give all your hurt away. Give it to the eclipse. Let it suck all the negative energy away and into the void. Okay, so eclipse is can be used in that way, especially this particular time, because it's on a growth star, as you know, as tiger and monkey. Okay, so, and it's also happening during one of the Nobleman Rising hour. Okay, so if you are aware of the Nobleman Rising hour in Chinese metaphysics, it's called Guai Yan Dang Tin Mon. It happens to be happening at the time of a Nobleman Rising, so you could use it as a nobleman, and you send your bad energy in from your destiny chart or whatever you're experiencing right now, or anything that you're stuck, that you are not moving, you are unhappy, just send it all to the eclipse. Okay, so you will back towards the direction of the east. If you need nobility and support, you will back towards the southwest. If you need to clear up wealth blockages, you will back towards the south if you have health blockages, or you can back towards the northwest if you have relational blockages. Now you got to understand whether this blockage, primarily the blockages is always that person, because most people blame other people for their problems, but generally they are the ones, probably they don't realize that they have the blockage internally. So the house is to back towards this direction. You sit down and you back towards these directions. Okay, so once you do that, you go into the Chiman Sage Path direction, the same Sage Path timing. You will go into the what we call a Sage mode, which means you need to slow down your brainwaves, your thinking, because if you're constantly thinking and analyzing, you cannot do this. Okay, you got to go into a meditative state, just almost as if you're falling asleep, but you're not really asleep. You're aware of everything, but you're not analyzing. If you're analyzing, it will stop you from actually doing this meditation correctly. You don't have to go into deep meditative state. You just have to calm your brain waves down by thinking and analyzing less. So stop thinking how. Okay, just sit down, relax, and listen to your breathing. Okay, slow down your thoughts. Slow down to a point where you're absolutely calm down. Okay, this is what you need to do. You calm down first. Of course, some people ask dumb questions. What if I'm driving? If you are doing that while you're driving, you're going to die. Okay, please, you need slap. Is it stop the car or go home and do it? All right. I mean, you're not going to do it when you're shitting in the toilet or taking a shower. That's stupid, right? So you sit down somewhere where you're comfortable. Somebody say, "Can I stand?" Okay, if you prefer to stand, you can stand. Just don't lie down and do it, because you're going to fall asleep. Okay, so you got to be conscious of this. All right, you got to be conscious of feeling relaxed. Okay, so once you get down to a relaxed state and you're not analyzing, not thinking, and not doing other stuff, but just relax and calm, then you will visualize all the negative energy in the form of darkness leaving your body into the eclipse. Send it upwards to the skies towards the eclipse. That's all. Okay, so it's simple thing. Don't overanalyze this. You can see, okay, if you any form of negative energy, it's like the black dark energy is leaving you. Okay, so I gave you the directions. You follow these directions. If you missed it, you go down to the Telegram and you can listen to it again. They are there. You're back towards these directions. Back meaning you're back towards these directions that I told you about. Okay, and the timing, you follow the local time of whenever the eclipse is happening to you. Okay, The UTC time of the eclipse is happening around 2:30. Okay, that's following the UTC time. Okay, but if you are following the your local time, you gotta convert that to your local time. Okay, so that's actually quite simple. It's UTC 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you don't have to meditate for 4 hours. I think your leg will go numb and you can't walk forever. I'm just kidding. So just don't overdo shit. Anything with word over is bad. Overeating, oversleeping, over meditating, overly positive, overly crazy, not good. Okay. So some people are like anal. They like to know exactly how many minutes. Do as you wish. Okay. Don't be so anal. I'm not anal. So I'm not going to tell you like, oh, it's got to be 7 minutes and 37 seconds. That's crap. Okay. Do as you wish. You've got a lot of negative shit. Do it a bit longer, right? If you're less, you just do in a very calm way. Send your negative energy towards the eclipse and let it absorb it, and you're all right. Okay, so you gotta do it you don't have to overly analyze and like I gotta follow these rules. I cannot miss some of these directions, and or else you're gonna die. No, you won't die. Okay, and plus if you missed it, you can wait for the next eclipse, which is sometime next year. Okay, no big deal. Don't get overly stressed. And if you don't have the 4 negative animal signs that are direct impact with this, the eclipse effect, especially if you don't see it, it's nominal. If you see it, you're on the outside, you get exposed to the energy on the external. It's more effective on you, especially if you are a negative or pessimistic person. Okay, so if you have that, you're generally a bit more pessimistic. You don't see, you see problems most of the time. Now, listen, a lot of people don't realize that they're pessimistic until someone point out to them, and then they don't want to admit it. Some people don't, right? But realization is the first step. If you have lack of awareness of what's going on in your life, maybe it's time to remove the blockage, right? Remove the blockage so you can actually become more aware of, maybe your own behavior, your own work ethics, your attitude towards your work. A lot of people work just so that they work enough not to get fired, right? A lot of people do that, right? They don't work so that they develop the skill set to go on to the next level and so that they can earn more and give more to their family and their friends. But a lot of people just work so they don't get fired. So that's already a pessimistic approach to life. So you got to, sometimes be able to see that in order to improve, okay? So complainers, if you're one of those complainers, maybe you will remove this negative aspect from you, send it away, and hopefully that will be good. And those who are thriving, right, those who are doing really well this year despite the challenges, then don't let some of your positive energy be drained. You might feel a bit more tired the next day if this happens. Okay, so of course you have unlimited positive energy. If you have that in your parts chart, then no worries at all. Okay, you can go and be in the eclipse and watch it if you want, if you have abundance of positive energy anyway. Okay, so I hope this helps you. Some people are greedy directions. It's up to you. That will take you 2 hours. I generally don't recommend that. If you're clear, you choose one. I personally like the nobility direction a lot, so I would always use the nobility direction primarily, because when you have the wisdom, you have the internal compass that is clear on what to do. You have clarity in your life. Wealth is easier, relationships are better, health is also better. So I generally will choose one. I'm not going to do like, I'm just do all 4, I'm going to go every single direction and do something. I think if you do that, you might go crazy. I don't suggest that, but some people want everything. Okay, cool. All right, I am going to take some questions here. If you have if you have questions, you'll go ahead and post it up here. Okay. So love is all right. Thank you. All right. Sometimes it's I'm just trying to make some sense, because some people are just they're very jittery about shit, right? Everything, oh shit, it's an eclipse, I'm gonna die. No, you won't. It's just an eclipse. It happens twice, big ones every year. Okay. All right. So let's see. Yes, it's backing that direction. All right. It's backing towards the direction. Don't worry. All right, any other questions? You can post it here. I will try to answer a couple. Yes, the most important lives are safe from COVID. All right, cool. Then send your negative health energies away, right? And so that you could develop your immune system a bit stronger. And basically, if you have a lot of worries, some people are worried for nothing, right? We'll go and send it away, right? Calm yourself down. Stay indoors. Okay, that's all you need to do. Some people are like, oh, can I carry an umbrella, right, and all that? Listen, if you can do anything you want, but staying indoors for a couple of hours, it's no big deal. Okay, you've been staying indoors for a long time anyway. So what's a couple of hours, right? If you can change it, change it. It's simple, right? Okay. Okay, looks like I've answered most of the questions. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Again, I will be giving a lot of updates coming soon on my Telegram. So I will totally recommend that you go to this Telegram channel. It's on the comment section, and subscribe to it, because I will be talking about one of this greatest astronomical phenomenon that's coming on December 20th or 21st, around the time. It's the conjunction between the Earth and the Wood Star, which marks the beginning of period 9 celestially. And so it's a big change. I want to talk about it the next couple of days. So you want to make sure that you log on and subscribe to my Telegram channel. The link is on my page on the comment section right here. And you will receive my voice message when I have it ready. Okay. All right. So yes, and I will be conducting my final live stream training on Qi tomorrow. For those who already have some background on Qi, particularly these are for my Qi Academy students. But if you already have some background on Qi, you're not an absolute beginner, you are welcome to join that. The link is also on the comment section right here on my Facebook and also on YouTube. That is happening live tomorrow, and tomorrow is a great day for learning with the Tongshu, if you can check the dates and times. So I want to be able to use that to help you guys end the year with a bang and prepare for 2021. The time is coming for us to make a great comeback and make 2021 great again. Cool. Okay. All right. Someone wants to know, what should you say to the eclipse? You don't say anything, you just imagine. Imagination is the most powerful weapon or tool that you have. Visually see the negative elements leaving you. Okay, so use the eclipse for that. Instead of it sucking away your positive energies, visually see the negative leaving you. That's all you need to do. So easy. The pictures that you see are much better than words you use to describe. Okay, so tomorrow will be live. I would urge you to watch live, because I'll be talking to you, communicating. My team is there. This is the final round for Qi. If you like Qi, you want to be prepared for period 9, you want to be prepared for 2021, there will be an opportunity for you to take this further. I will talk about that tomorrow. So thank you guys for logging in at such a short notice. I appreciate your time here logging in today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch up again with you very, very soon. Okay, make sure you stay tuned on my Telegram channel. Thank you. Thank you.